You just got to knock it on its side. What's it going to do?
Exactly.
Hey, so today we're going to be watching some police gadgets that you've probably never seen before. Links are going to be in the description for the video and the channel. And luckily today I actually have my friend here who's actually a cop, and he's going to be kind of giving his own opinions and thoughts on these gadgets and kind of just see what might work, what wouldn't work, maybe things he's tried, maybe some even new gadgets that they might even show here, and maybe see like kind of what's out there today. So
hello everyone, my name's Ever. I am still a brand new cop, just about 2 years into it, and I love it so far. There's great stuff about the job, bad stuff about the job, but I wouldn't take it for granted. I'm always learning, and I love what I do. So I'm excited about this video. I've never done a reaction video, so this is my first one. So let's do it.
Ten police gadgets that will surprise you. In an effort to bring crime fighting into the 21st century, police departments around the world are getting savvy with their tech and starting to introduce some innovative pieces of equipment to help keep our streets safe. Today, we're looking at the top 10 police gadgets that will surprise you. Bowler Wrap 100. The Bowler Wrap 100 is a non-lethal, minimal pain device that is used to de-escalate and restrain individuals. The smart contraption gives officers an alternative to tasers and pepper spray, which not only require getting up close.
At my department, we've talked about actually getting that. It's more beneficial for, when people are running away from you. You don't have to tase them, from far away. If you're trying to aim at someone that's moving, that's very difficult. But something like that, you shoot them at the leg, and then they just go flying forward and they're done. That's it. So I have seen something about this, and it's something that my department at least is trying to work on getting. I think that's a really good and useful tool to de-escalate certain types of scenarios depending on what it is. But yeah, this is I can see that being used all around the country, and it would be useful.
And does it actually still shock them, or is it just like completely wrap around them?
From what I know, it just wraps around them very tight, enough for them to not move around. If you get them up in the top, I think up in the upper body area, it restricts movement. So I'm not sure how it'll work, but if it takes like maybe one shot or two shots, or a limited amount, but I think either way it's very useful
And personal, but can also lead to serious, long-lasting injury to those on the receiving end. While resembling a taser, the Bowler Wrap actually fires a lasso that wraps around a suspect's arms or legs, preventing them from attacking or running away. The lasso is made from Kevlar and fixes to a person's clothing using metal hooks. The materials used are incredibly strong and are incredibly difficult to remove without a strong pair of scissors. The Bowler Wrap one.
So it's pretty much what I was saying, like how that guy was running, they shoot him and he just fell forward. Great tool, great use to de-escalate certain situations. Absolutely something that I could see myself using too in the future.
Do you happen to know the actual reach of it? I mean, because I know that the say for a taser, right? It's actually got like the wire connected.
The wire and the probes. Yeah.
Now with this, since it completely does not connect to the actual from whatever it's shooting from, right? Because it's shooting out. Do you know how? Like, is that distance even farther than a regular tase gun? Do you know?
I have no idea, honestly. Yeah.
100 launches the Kevlar tether at 646 feet per second, making it impossible to outrun or dodge, and it can be used against someone at a safe distance of between 10 feet and 25 feet. You can purchase your own Bowler Wrap online for around $1,000. KC-N90.
Oh, okay, $1,000, that's... But then again, you think long term, you'd rather use something that's non-lethal, and something like that could be very useful for the department and for oneself and safety. So
it's quite a bit of money.
That's quite the money, yeah.
For one.
For one. So imagine getting one or one of those per officer, like in a huge city like LA. They have, I don't know, thousands of officers. That's a lot of money.
01 Smart Helmet. The N901 Smart Helmet is the latest device being put through its paces in the fight against the current pandemic. Designed by KC Wearable, a leading company in smart wearable technology, the helmet is fitted with a fast-scanning infrared camera that is connected to an AR headset, allowing police users to measure people's temperatures in real time. Being one of the primary symptoms of the virus that has sent most of the world into total lockdown, fever detection is an invaluable tool for identifying infected individuals. The Casey Smart Helmet can scan up to 13 people at once and 200 people in a minute whilst maintaining a respectable accuracy rate of over 96%. Following initial testing in China, the Casey helmet is now receiving orders from police forces from around the world at a cost of between $5,000 and $7,000 each.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel it might be intrusive to people. Like, okay, so I'm gonna scan your body temperature. I want to know if you're sick. I don't know. I guess it's good to identify those that are sick, like at an airport, especially with the whole COVID virus today. I don't see any other uses for it.
Could there also be like situations where it might even have a mistake because, like, say the temperature outside, like it's hot right now, like I'm sweating right now, and I could be classified as sick even though I'm not.
Yeah, this is just something that waste of money. I think I may think it could also be used to, like, let's say it's nighttime and we're out looking for a suspect and he's hiding in some bushes, and using that as a flare, like kind of infrared, to locate his body within the whole wooded area. That could be useful, but we already have tools like that to locate suspects like that, and we also have the K9 and all that. But yeah, this is, I think, just more of a
something probably that's
luxury
just like,
tool. Yeah,
like that is just kind of maybe useful right now considering like old COVID. But then again, I mean, you have for example, like clinics, right? They got that little gun.
Yeah, they got the little gun that identifies your temperature right away. So this is.
I mean, I guess more of a hands-off kind of thing, but is it worth $7,000? Do you think?
That's a lot of money. I don't think I'd invest money in that kind of tool. But anyway, I don't like this one. So yeah, let's go. Let's keep going.
GPS Bullet. High-speed pursuits are a dangerous game of cat and mouse that all too often result in crashes, injuries, and even death. To reduce triggering of an all-out chase, US police departments are using what is known as a GPS bullet. Designed by public safety tech company Starchase, the GPS bullet is fired by a launcher mounted to the front of a police cruiser using compressed air. The GPS tracker sticks to the suspect vehicle using a strong adhesive and can be fired from both within the vehicle or remotely by an officer. Once the tracker is attached to the car, police can back off and follow from a safe distance, monitoring the car's location in real time thanks to GPS signals relayed to the live tracking device. This allows officers to intervene at a safer location by setting up strategic roadblocks ahead or apprehending the fleeing offender when they park up. The dual-barrel launcher system costs in the region of $5,000 to install, and each GPS bullet has a price tag of $500.
See, now this is a very useful tool. This is also something that we've talked about in our department and agencies locally about getting a tool like that, because nowadays pursuits are not something that we do unless it's like life-threatening or someone's in immediate danger. Like, let's say someone got kidnapped or like some drive-by shooting or something like that. And let's say if someone just took off from me from a theft at a store. I mean, I'm obviously not going to pursue the guy. If I do get close enough to him and he maybe starts taking off on me, then I can see myself using that tool to locate this suspect later on. Because right now we're not trying to, it's more of a liability if I get in an accident and hurt someone else or kill someone else. So that's why, pursuits aren't that much of a thing anymore. But a tool like this would make capturing suspects like that a lot easier. And this is something that I see a lot of agencies using.
What would you think about, because they said it's like about $500 pop, right, each one? Yeah. So not only do that to make sure it actually lands, right? So obviously it's going to require some training, right? Being able to aim it. But if they miss, is it something that is reusable, or is it just a one-time use and that's why they have to get another one? So then based off of that, also, how many are actually able to, like, how much are they able to store, I guess, like in the chamber, right? So is it like a one shot and then they gotta like stop, or I don't even know how they would load it.
I don't know. I have no idea how that'd work, but I'm sure that something like that, you'd have multiple rounds.
So I mean, pretty useful.
Pretty useful, very useful actually, very useful. I can see this is the future right here, and like, because I hate when people run away or stuff like that. So Yeah, the first tool and this tool right here. The first one mainly for people maybe that are trying to run away from you, and this is another one that are trying to run away from you, but in a vehicle. So, great tool, love it. I'm excited to see if we get one of these someday.
Micro drones. The Sacramento PD is the first department in the United States to use micro drones in an effort to reduce risks during hostile situations. The tiny drones are outfitted with high-quality cameras and are designed to give officers a real-time view of crime scenes whilst avoiding physical confrontations with suspects. Now, this isn't the first time that the police have adopted drone technology for reconnaissance and investigation. However, it is the first time that it has been implemented in such a tiny package. These micro drones are built small so that they can fit through some really tight spaces. With a footprint around the same size as a fist, the cost is also relatively low at just $90 per drone. Sacramento PD will be starting with a fleet of just 12 drones, some of which have already been used effectively on a trial basis. Not only have these drones made a number of situations dramatically safer for officers, but they have already saved the lives of innocent victims.
That's a fantastic tool. I can already see myself, or see it being used in multiple ways. Maybe like a guy that's barricaded and holding people hostage, or trying to figure out what exactly is going on in a house, or you're trying to locate somebody that just ran away from you, and you don't know if he has like a weapon or anything and he's trying to hurt you, and you can just use the drone to locate the guy. Maybe, I don't know if it said that you can give him commands through it, but that would also be very useful. I could use it for many other reasons, like you're trying to talk to someone that's in crisis, and I have a buddy who works for Sacramento actually, and I'm gonna have to ask him about that and see what kind of calls he's gotten that maybe they have used that tool for. But yeah, I can just see many uses for it, and that's something that I think every department should invest in.
I mean, considering it's only $90 compared to anything, really, right? Especially when you try to like get it to like a whole bunch of people, because obviously a lot of cops, right? Typically expenses, even if it's like say $100, it starts adding up. But
right.
Considering this only being 90 so far, even being the cheapest one right now. Also, I don't think they mentioned though if it was. I mean, obviously, I would assume it'd be quiet as possible.
Yeah, I think it'd be like a very quiet drone. That way, the suspects will have a hard time. If they hear it, then they'll start doing some other things. But if it's quiet, then they're gonna have a hard time figuring out what it is and what it's doing there.
So pretty useful too, because you wouldn't even know if it was a cop.
No, yeah.
It'd be a random person.
I think it's very useful tool.
Origami Bulletproof Shield. Mechanical engineers at Brigham Young University have broken new ground with their innovative ballistic shield designed for law enforcement officers. This new bulletproof contraption incorporates origami-inspired structures and can stop bullets from even the most powerful of handguns. The shield uses 12 layers of military-grade Kevlar, the same material used in bulletproof vests and body armor, in what is known as a Yoshimura origami folding pattern. While typical police shields are flat, hard steel surfaces that don't cover the entire body, the origami shield is curved, stands up on its own, and can shield multiple officers from gunfire. Weighing in at just 55 pounds, the origami shield is seriously lightweight in comparison to alternatives, with most of which weighing in at over 100 pounds. Being able to deploy in just seconds is also a major advantage. In its current form, the Origami Bulletproof Shield can only protect against handguns. However, protection from assault rifles is said to be next in line for development. Boston Dynamics Spot.
Now that's something that I'd like, because like how he said that, we do use the shields that you pretty much hold like this, and when you're like in a situation where maybe there's gunfire, there's a suspect with a weapon, and you have no idea if he's going to shoot at you or something, you're going to be holding a shield like this for a while, and your arm's going to get tired, and obviously your bottom part, like your torso down, is going to be exposed, so you could get shot down there too. But with a tool like this, if it covers yourself and multiple people, that's very useful. Tactically, I'd have a hard time if there's multiple people within it, but still, it'll protect you. Like how he said, it'll stop any handgun bullets. The only problem is if it's anything, something that's caliber-wise higher, okay, that's going to be difficult, but I mean, this is something that I'd use probably. Very, very easy to use, very easy to open up. Doesn't take that much, and you're not using, you know, I guess you're not using your other arm to basically hold it, because when you're holding up a shield and a gun, you know, when you shoot one-handed, it's a little bit more difficult than just shooting how you normally would. So, great tool. I like it.
All right, so I got 2 questions for you.
Sure.
For that one then. The first one, would you see it as more of a, I mean, because I would assume with the shields it's pretty mobile, right?
Yeah, very mobile.
Would you assume that this one would be more of a stationary?
It'd be more of a stationary. Yeah, I could see it for those that are maybe like in, I don't know, just standing by in certain areas. They can use that as their shield, and then obviously we're still going to be using the mobile shields to move up forward and apprehend the suspect or something. But I mean, it's also heavy, 55 pounds. I mean, imagine trying to drag that around. So.
And then that brings me to my second question. Considering it is 55 pounds, so it's got a little bit of weight to it, when it does extend, right? And it does take, say, for example, you have 2 gunmen shooting, and say that they're using just your regular handguns, because obviously he said that that's
Right.
as much as they could take at this time. Do you think there's any form of way that it looks like it may, like the actual just force of the bullets, getting shot so many times, is going to force it to move slightly, or do you feel like the weight would be enough to keep it down without having to shift too much?
That's interesting, because I mean, it didn't really explain it that much in the video, but something that's 55 pounds and, you know, a bullet, I mean, that's just some physics that I don't know. But I mean, if it stops bullets like a vest would, I mean, I don't think it would have an issue with like moving or falling down or anything like that. I mean, if it's meant to stop bullets, so you can pull, you know,
it can take quite a bit of force.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't think it would like immediately fall or something. I mean, if it's something like a freaking AK-47, then sure, okay, I can see it tumbling down, but I think it's sturdy enough for it not to fall.
Robots are often used by military and police forces to carry out risky jobs, such as investigating bomb threats or navigating partially collapsed buildings that would otherwise put the lives of men in harm's way. The latest robot being built for such tasks is known as Spot, and is another intriguing quadruped robot designed by the masterminds at Boston Dynamics. As the name hints, Spot is somewhat like a police dog in its presence, nimble on its feet and always ready for action. Spot is an agile robot and is able to traverse all kinds of terrain, including loose rubble and stairways. It's big enough to carry its fair share of weight, yet is small enough to be used indoors and fit into those tighter spaces. The platform is fully customizable and can be utilized by a range of industries. Massachusetts State Police have already had their hands on one, putting it to use within their bomb squad. Similar to the other robots used by the department, Spot was used as a mobile remote observation device, providing troopers with images of suspicious devices or potentially hazardous locations. Spot is still in its early stages of development. However, it might not be long until we start seeing these being implemented by multiple specialized units, both in the US and internationally. Prices are available on a quotation basis only. However, a spokesperson for Boston Dynamics has said that leasing a Spot will cost less than a car. However, how expensive of a car is yet to be disclosed. Grappler.
Dang, that must be some expensive gadget there. Yeah, I can see this tool being used. Maybe in just bigger cities, kind of like how we talked about using it for like bomb threats, or you know, it's easier to put a machine in danger than a human. You don't want to risk a human or any other person where you can just use a machine dog to go locate and find certain dangerous items that are, you know, in a building or wherever. So I think it's a very useful tool. Just something that I wouldn't use because you know, I work in a small town, and you know, I would hope not that I don't get that kind of stuff out there. But I know big cities around and counties, they use some tool kind of like that already. And like how he said, it's useful to locate suspects, bombs, or any other suspicious kind of like item that could pose a threat to, you know, humans or anyone.
Do you think that, I mean, because I could never see probably the main thing being actually like bomb defusing and all that. You feel like maybe, say there's a collapsed building, probably use maybe some kind of thermal on it.
Yeah, even that, people, just to help find people. I mean, if it's very what was the word that you said? Like flexible, or it can move around,
like very nimble.
Yeah, very nimble.
And strong.
Definitely, like, you know, just if there's a collapsed building, you know, or someone's stuck or something, very useful to help rescuers go locate them and help them out. Because, you know, if you're just digging and, you know, that's just going to take longer, whereas you can use a tool that can help you locate people that are trapped in certain circumstances.
And it's also great because it doesn't get tired. I mean,
No,
sure, you
yeah.
might need to recharge it, but
Yeah.
I mean, a dog, like, for example, could do great
Yep.
things, but, you know, it can only work for so long.
Right, exactly. Yep, this could work for who knows how many years. And, yeah, it can just be recharged at the end of the day,
So
just like a phone.
So probably the only negative probably just be the cost then.
The cost, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if they're saying that's worth around a brand new car, I mean, ooh, we're talking 20 plus grand here. But I mean, obviously, it's going to be a tool that's very useful for police departments and.
A police bumper. The Grappler police bumper is a sturdy piece of kit designed to bring car chases to an early halt in a fast and controlled manner. Mounted to the front of police pursuit cars, the Grappler bumper shoots out a webbing that grabs onto the fleeing target's rear wheel, wrapping around the axle and bringing the vehicle to a complete stop. The device is far safer in practice than the PIT maneuver, which involves nudging the fleeing car so that it spins around and halts uncontrollably, which can be incredibly dangerous at higher speeds. The Grappler is deployed through a dash-mounted button and is then driven into the back of the assailant's rear wheel by the pursuit vehicle. Unmarked or undercover vehicles can even have the device disguised as a bicycle rack. The Grappler is often enough to drag vehicles to a stop by itself, especially those with rear-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive cars are a little trickier. However, they can still be effectively halted by using the tethered line and the pursuit vehicle applying its own brakes. The Grappler police bumper is designed to stop vehicles in a controlled straight line, so it can be used on small roads and even in heavy traffic. Skywalk.
Interesting that it said that it stops cars like just going straight, and what it sounds like is that my concern was, you know, if you use that, then the car's gonna start like just wobbling about, and your car, by the own patrol car, could potentially like maybe lose control of it. But by the sounds of it, it won't do that. So, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, yeah, the pit stop maneuver is risky for both the suspect and the officers. I don't know if this is something that we'd use, especially if we're not doing pursuits that much. Only, like I said, if it's if someone's life is in immediate danger or that kind of stuff. But I mean, I could see the pros of it. Yeah, you're gonna stop someone eluding you and all that, but very risky as well if you're trying to, you're pursuing with lots of traffic.
Okay, so I got a few questions for this one now. So first one being, obviously, patrol vehicles are going to be roughly the same, right? Now, I can see it working with, like, say, you're chasing a basic truck or you're chasing, like, a Kia or something, right? What happens when you're going against a car that's faster than you? Because this one requires you to be, like,
you
almost right on it.
You have to be really close, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it fails, kind of sucks, because now you have some extended rope kind of thing out in front of you, and if this person already is eluding you and all that, I don't know how the rope will go against the vehicle, like if it's going to stop the vehicle too, if it's going to like basically make it useless. So then that's -1 vehicle that's on the road trying to follow a car like that. I don't know, it's tough. More pros than cons, I think.
Could it also be very cost effective, right? I mean, because obviously some officers are going to be kind of driving by themselves. Some, I would assume a lot more would probably be with partners, right? So you're not necessarily having to get one of these pieces of gear just for every person. It's just one for every car, right?
Yeah,
and
one for every car.
You might even have less cars than you actually do people.
Right,
So
exactly. So,
Wall patrol. Although the majority of drone users fly their machines within the bounds of the law, there has unfortunately been a rise in the misuse of drones due to their versatility and affordable price. To counteract this, police and security forces have been trialling a number of devices that work to either disable or disrupt a drone's flight. The Skywall Patrol is a capturing device that uses compressed air to accurately fire a net around a flying drone. The onboard smart scope automatically compensates for drone speed and range, guaranteeing the perfect shot every time. The smart projectile fired releases the net at just the right moment, just before releasing a small parachute that sees the drone to the ground in a controlled manner. Capturing the drone as opposed to destroying it allows for further investigation and forensics, greatly increasing the chances of locating the perpetrator. The Skywall Patrol is entirely portable and can be reloaded quickly, so multiple drones can be tackled by a single operator. Nimbo Robot.
I just want to say that is some Halo type gun, right?
That is some Halo type gun. That was pretty cool. I don't know anything. I mean, I don't know.
Has that ever come up? Like,
no, I don't. I haven't heard of anyone or any agency around that uses some type of weapon like that to take down drones.
I mean, would you assume this is probably more military? Because I don't think too many.
I think it's more military. Maybe you know something based from your experience in the Marines, but
we definitely use drones, not as much, and typically for the Marine Corps we usually have like the cheaper variety, and never really heard of anything of a net. I mean, I've heard of drones being able to actually carry grenades and be able to toss them on you, but our SOP is essentially, hey, try to shoot it down before it gets to you. So, I mean, I could definitely see like this, right? But then again, we didn't get how much it would cost. Obviously, the Marine Corps is very frugal with their money. They don't want to spend a whole lot. I feel like it's just an extra piece of gear that's very specific for very specific situations.
Yeah, very unlikely for a police agency to use it, I think. And I don't know, just not my thing.
So, like, not worth the actual price, and would be very specific.
Yeah, very specific. Yep.
The Nimbo security robot is built to observe, detect, deter, and report by integrating artificial intelligence with autonomous patrol capability, object detection, two-way communication, and real-time alerts. Designed by Segway, this amazing multi-purpose robot can patrol a predetermined route all on its own. The robot can avoid people and obstacles through the use of AI, record 360-degree video and live stream to a monitored control panel, capture live audio, play back voice commands, and even sound an alarm. The Nimbo Robot is a fantastic solution for security teams that can free up manpower whilst increasing security presence. Nimbo is built mainly to operate independently.
Stop right there! Wait. Stop right there! I can see a freaking robot doing that.
What the hell? What the hell is Wally gonna do, man? It doesn't have anything on it.
I know.
I mean,
granted, I'm sure it's fast, and it can follow someone for like a while. I don't know how it maneuvers. Like if it's very flexible, if it can hop. I don't know. I mean,
you just gotta knock it on its side. What's it gonna do?
Exactly.
I mean,
but then again, you do get images, and it recognizes what they say, facial recognition, and it reads plates and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I can see it being very useful too. Aside from the
probably more like an early warning system, not really. I mean, maybe it could be attached with the Ebola type thing, to have some form to maybe catch one, but at least acting like an alarm system. Especially, I don't know if at stations and all that, you got a person working the radio, but hardly less people, and this way you could at least have more eyes.
Right, and I see this kind of thing being used in big cities like, L.A., New York, where there's multiple people all around, and they're just hovering about and doing their thing and going through streets, and just making sure that nothing crazy is going on. In smaller cities, obviously they're not going to use it. But I think this might be the future. You're gonna get cops out of cities that are where they just do foot patrols, and just put them back on the street. Especially with crime rate going up right now. I mean, everywhere. It's this might be the future. Just put these machines out and let them do the patrols. Make sure that they're the streets are safe. So and if of course something goes on, I'm sure they're capable of notifying the dispatchers. Hey, this is what's going on, or just send images to police officers if there's someone that they're looking for.
So on that, because since it does do. I mean, I can understand it. Maybe checking out plates and all that.
Right.
As far as the facial recognition, what do you think the civilian population would feel about that?
I have a hard time believing that they'll support this. I mean, people already feel weird about cameras being everywhere, and then they just feel that it's intrusive into their personal life, being on camera. So a machine like this, just going by doing its thing and it's capturing their photo, they're gonna be like, okay, this is kind of weird. But then again, I mean, they can also support it in case for some reason some crazy thing happens. It might help deter crime. I mean, I don't know. It might be just a 50-50 thing on how people feel. But for now, maybe it might start off as a thing that people won't support. But as people start seeing like good results from it, or good positive feedback on those things, maybe they'll start. They won't care.
And also because whether or not you could actually, I mean, I doubt the facial recognition would be too well. So I feel like just treating it like a camera, like say at a like a stoplight, right? I mean, there's cameras there. I mean, there's the crossroads over there that has like the camera actually there, right? I'll see to check people passing red lights, speeding, and all that. I mean, it would kind of be the same thing.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. Yeah.
And obviously, these would be used to, I would assume, patrol like maybe certain buildings to be able to provide security or help police. Say, for example, hey, we got to cover a big area.
Yeah.
Short on manpower, so let's get some things that actually have maybe some thermals on it, and kind of send them out. And then they see anything, okay, hey, this one saw something.
Yep.
Let's go over there.
Yep.
However, it can also be partnered up with a human security guard that can ride on the robot much like a regular Segway. Nimbo has a patrol speed of 3 kilometers per hour.
All right, this isn't even police anymore. This is just regular everyday use.
This is just everyday use. Wow. I mean,
how would you like that being your partner? What would you call him? Can't be Wally.
Can't be Wally.
It's copyright claim.
I know, right? I don't know. I mean, definitely takes the whole Paul Blart thing too. No, but I mean, if you can use it too, heck yeah, that's awesome.
I personally do not trust anything with 2 wheels. My balance is
horrible.
horrible.
I've ridden a Segway before, and first time I got on it, I ate shit. I was like wobbling and bam, I fell forward, but you get used to it.
A ride speed of 16 kilometers per hour and a runtime of 10 hours on a single charge. Shotspotter. Shotspotter is a network of tech that works in unison to reduce gun crime in inner city areas. Through the use of multiple acoustic sensors, cameras, and a 24-hour monitoring team, Shotspotter can pinpoint the location of a gunshot almost instantaneously and inform police in mere moments. When a shot is fired, the system works by first determining how far the source of the gunshot is from the multiple sensors in its proximity, triangulating the source, and figuring out its exact location. From there, the pivoting cameras linked up to the system point towards the location of the gunfire in an attempt to capture a fleeing individual or anything else that may give the police useful information. Trained members of the monitoring team can then analyze the acoustic recordings in seconds, confirming that the sound was gunfire, as well as adding additional details that would help the police, such as determining multiple shooters or the use of automatic weapons. ShotSpotter alert system is used in over 100 cities throughout the United States, including Miami, Florida, which has reported a 35% reduction in homicides and a 50% reduction in gun activity since installing the ShotSpotter system back in 2014.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute. What were your kind of last thoughts on that last one there?
Yeah, at first I was thinking cost, like how effective it would be. Also, I mean, fireworks. Thinking about fireworks, like would that detect fireworks and think they're shots? I don't know. But then again, they did say over 100 cities are using it. Miami is a big one. I mean, if it's brought down crime rate for shootings, what was it, like 33%? I mean, I think that's a good thing. I don't know who monitors them. There's like a third party from dispatchers or police, but I mean, it seems like it's a great tool. Of course, smaller cities like where I work, I mean, they're not going to use something like that, but fantastic tool, love it. Anything that helps bring down shootings, crime, I'm for it.
I know we had just seen it, but I had like very little to any idea of how it actually works. I mean, I know they mentioned about the actual detection of the sound,
right,
and then somehow triangulating. I mean, very good to be able to spot someone, especially say, for example, I mean, speaking from like a military side, right? A lot of times you're getting a lot of these people, like say terrorists, right? They're fighting in a very guerrilla type combat style, right? Where they're not going to really have a big force. They're just kind of always engaging you. At least not in my experience or from the stories I've heard. But that the main thing is they might have like maybe 1 or 2, right? And they know the area a lot better, and it ends up being a lot harder to try to find just one person. And imagine like in a city.
Yeah.
Right?
So like how it talked about how they're spread out throughout the city, and then once the shot goes off, it kind of locates the area, the surrounding area where the shot came from, and it tells you, makes it easier for officers to respond and possibly find where the shots were coming from, or a suspect if there was a description given out for like people that called in, shoot or something. But I think it's a great tool. I hope a lot of cities start doing that, because it could bring shootings and stuff like that down, especially nowadays. Shootings are going up everywhere in every major city. So yeah, I like that tool.
Yeah, I mean, very beneficial. I can see where there might be some. I'm pretty sure they will work on the complications, like you mentioned, fireworks.
Yeah.
And I just thought about it right now, shooting ranges. Although I don't think there would be too much in the city. But I mean, just in general, there can always be like a couple bugs here and there. Obviously, to be able to make it work. I mean, we saw like just a very little bit of it, and it looked very complicated. So you probably need, at minimum, maybe one person to consistently do it. So that's a whole another position now. Yeah. And depending what his salary is going to be, or whatever that is, that's a lot.
I don't know. That's something that I might just look into and get some info on. But yeah, that's a really cool tool. I love this video. Very cool. Very informative. Opened up my eyes for the future of the police world and what kind of items we're going to be using. I liked most of them. I think there's maybe one or two that I was like, okay, this is kind of weird, but I don't see myself using. But for the most part, hopefully one of these days maybe I can use some of those stuff.
Well, what would you say is probably your one that would work for you specifically, like in your area?
In my area, I mean, we're a small town of like 14,000 people, but I think the one that I really want to use the most is the bull, or the one that shoots out the string rope. It's just a very useful tool, less lethal. If someone's just not being cooperative with you or trying to run away from you, you just use that, and then it stops them. Like, they literally won't be able to move. So I think that's probably the one I'd want to use myself.
Especially people who are like, say, are on drugs or something. I mean, I've seen videos of people getting tased and they consistently are fighting, or they're still running.
Tasers don't always work. Something like that, where it just makes them immobile for a while until they're in handcuffs and all that. I'd use that.
Yeah. So definitely something that at least is guaranteed. I mean, because even if it's a strong dude, if the legs get caught up, you're gonna fall.
Yeah, you're gonna fall. Regardless, you're gonna fall. That time when they fall will give enough time for the officers to get on top of them, turn them around, and put them in cuffs.
But in any case, that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I do upload. Hit that dislike button if you didn't like the video, and leave me a little comment as maybe what it was. Maybe it's the lights making me sweat like crazy. Maybe it's the fact that it doesn't connect here as evenly. But let me know. I really do take the time to be able to go to the comments, be able to respond as much as I can. Special thanks to my buddy here, Officer Medina. Thanks for coming by, kind of giving your opinions.
Yeah, like you said though, like and subscribe. Great guy. He's always giving it his all in his channel. I've known him for years, so yeah. Like I said, follow him. This guy has great content. So, but thank you for inviting me out here and doing this. I'm sure we'll do more collabs here, or just watch videos. I've been trying to get him to do horror videos, but we'll see. Soon.
Very soon.
Reactions. Yep.
All right. Until then, we'll see you all in the next video.